Everybody, it's Jennifer Deal, the productivity coach here at Keller Williams Elevate. Today, we're going to talk about Dotloop and documents. So to get started, you'll need to log into Dotloop, and I'm going to share my screen with you, and you can also follow along on your own computer if you would like. To get to Dotloop, you could either go directly to dotloop.com and go ahead and sign in there. And then you want to make sure when you are signed in, if you go into like templates, you see the black and red banner that shows you that you're in the correct account. If it's like a light blue or a blue, you're not in the premium account that has been registered to you as a Keller Williams Elevate agent. So you're going to want to make sure you have that set up correctly. You can reach out to the office to get that straightened out if you don't have the red and black there. Another way to get to Dotloop is when you log into MLS Now. There is a quick link right here. You can click on that. That will take you right to Dotloop. Another way to get to Dotloop is if you are working on a transaction and you have that contact in command, you could log into command. Find the contact. Suppose this is a buyer that you're working with and they are wanting to purchase a home. So you would go to opportunities and you would either have the opportunity already created. And if you haven't, that's okay. You could create an opportunity, put the information in here. And when you do that, that's going to give you the access to Dotloop. So let's go ahead and create one here. We said this will be a buyer. We could put the estimated closing date in there. Only the parts that have a red dot next to them have to be filled in. And then once you have the opportunity created, you can click on the link. It will take you inside of the details of this opportunity. And we're going to want to put in the property address for this opportunity in order to link it with Dotloop. So let's go ahead and find a property that is listed for sale right now on the MLS. So if I go to residential, well, let's look in Strongsville, see what we. So here's one right here we have on Royalton Road. So we can type in this address, 22044 Royalton Road. On command, sorry, I didn't mean to go back to Dotloop. And then you'll see the drop-down box there. You click on that and save. So now we have the details on command. Once we have the details there with the property, we can go over here to documents, click on documents. And as long as you have connected your Dotloop with command, so they're integrated, you can click on start a transaction, select Dotloop, select your profile, continue. And then if all goes well, it will say go to transaction. When you click on go to transaction, it actually opens up Dotloop for you and it puts you right into the loop. And when I say loop, a loop is just another word for a transaction. So loops can be used to track all the paperwork that you need for a transaction. And the beauty of Dotloop is that we have templates that are created so that you can electronically sign those documents and share them with your clients so that they can sign them as well, either on their phone or their computer, which saves you time. And it saves them time. So here we're inside of the loop. If you notice over here, when I just logged into Dotloop, my home page shows me a quick view of all the loops that I already have created. Now, when I did it through command, it automatically created the loop for me. You can also go straight to Dotloop and create the loop here. So if I were to go straight to Dotloop, and if I put in this address 22044, you can see that the MLS number pops up right here. And the nice thing is when you connect it with the MLS information, the listing agent will also be connected with that, and all the information like the parcel number will be imported. So I'll show you the difference. So I'm going to import the data here. and then hit continue. You can also upload a photo if that helps you. And then I want to view the loop. So now I've created two different loops for 22044 Royalton Road. This one is connected with the MLS data because I did import that information. At the bottom, you can see it knows that Gloria is the listing agent and that information has been inputted. Over here, not that one, over here on this one where we created the loop from command, you can see that the MLS information is not there. However, my client's information has been added. Now, I do recommend that you start in command because all of your client information will be connected. And it's really easy to then connect this loop with the MLS information. All you have to do is go up here to view details, find the MLS number, which is right here. I'm going to copy it. Then scroll down here to where it says search by MLS number. And then you see it popped up there. I'm going to select it. I'm going to import the data. And then I'm also going to use the property address for the loop name and save. And now this loop is stronger than the other one because it already has my client's information there. So that's how I recommend starting your loop is to start it in command, go to transaction, and then connect it with the MLS number. So if I go back to the loop now, I have two folders here because it does recognize that I did this twice. So I'm just going to archive that real quick. I'm going to select the transaction type, loop status. So we're getting ready to write an offer. So I always recommend when you're in Dotloop and you're setting up your loop, make sure you have all the information complete on the top. So make sure that the loop name is the address, make sure you have the MLS connected with it if there is an MLS to connect it with. Make sure you have it labeled correctly as well. And then I go to the bottom. So the beauty of Dotloop is that it is automated. It will fill in paperwork for you. So you don't have to type in the buyer's name over and over again. You don't have to type in the address over and over again, as long as you have your loop set up before you start filling in the paperwork. So this is the next step. I do the top first, and then I scroll down to the bottom to the people section, and I make sure all the people are listed on there. So I have my client here, who is the buyer, and then I have the listing agent. Make sure I have their roles selected. The admin is our Keller Williams Elevate admin who will also have access to this loop. So they are on the team. Only people that represent your client can be on your team. So we do not add the client on the team. We do not add the listing agent. We do not add the title company or the lender. Only people who represent your client should be on your team here. So if you have a transaction coordinator, you would add them to your team. And it's pretty simple to do that. If you click on the three dots here, you can add them to the team. And then your name will be here. It will say none. So we want to change that to your role, which in this case would be buying agents. So we have one of the parties, we have the buyer listed. However, we don't have the seller listed. And we do want to have the seller's name on here because when we go to automatically fill in the documents, we want to make sure the seller's name comes in and automatically fills in the places where the seller's name should be. We don't ever want to communicate with the seller because we don't represent the seller. So all we need is the name. We don't need any contact information. So what I like to do is I go back to the listing. Sometimes the listing agent will put the owner's name down here where it says owner's name. In this case, it's not there. No worries. I can simply click on the parcel ID number here, and it will take me to the auditor's information. And I can see that there are two sellers. There's Keith and there's Linda. For now, I'm just going to put one name there. You would definitely want to put both names there. I'm just going to show you how to add a person. So let's add Keith there. So I go back to Dotloop. I'm going to click add a person. I'm going to assign his role as seller, and then I'm not going to put any contact information for him because he's not my client and I will never communicate with him. So I click add person. And now I have all the people listed there that I need for my documents to get an offer started. And then to add documents would be after I set everything up. then I add the documents. And there are several ways that you can add documents. You click on this button and you see that we can add documents from the templates that are already created by Keller Williams Elevate for you to use. You can also browse your computer and upload any documents that you have on your computer. You can also email documents to yourself by simply copying this address and say an agent forwarded some disclosures to you in PDF form. You could forward that email to this address and it would automatically put those documents on your loop. So it is really convenient to do it that way. You don't have to save it on your computer and then upload and download and do all of that. So if you use templates, it's really simple. You just click on templates and then you'll see that we have some folders created already for you. If you just want to see all of the documents that are available from Keller Williams Elevate, you can click on Elevate Documents Fillable and you can see all of them here. And I do recommend if you're a newer agent to start or new to Elevate that you take some time and read through these documents just so you know what's available to you as you're working through transactions. And then we also have a listing packet created for you. We have the FHA purchase packet and the conventional purchase packet. So if you want to select the documents from the conventional purchase packet, it's pretty simple. Select all. And then it will check all of them. And then we're going to make a copy to our loop. And then okay. And now you can see all of the documents needed for that transaction are right here. You may not need some of them. Maybe you've already gotten the buyer representation agreement signed and you have it in paper form and you're going to scan that in. This is the template one, which has the electronic signatures. So we can go ahead and archive this one. Nothing is ever deleted. You can always go back if you accidentally archive something. You can always go back and restore it. So say, oh no, I actually need that document. I can show archived. Scroll down here. You can see what I archived right here. Click on the three dots and I can unarchive it. And now it's back in the loop. So you never have to worry about losing anything permanently. That's the beauty of Dotloop. So let's go ahead and look at the agency disclosure statement. If I click on the name of the document, it's going to open up and it's going to ask me if I want to autofill this information. Now, if I've done everything correctly and I click autofill, this document will be ready to go. And there you can see the address is at the top. We have the buyer's name and we have the seller's name. We have my name as the agent representing the buyer, and we have Gloria's name as representing the seller. And this document is ready to go. We just need to have it signed by both the buyer and the seller. So at the bottom, we want to make sure we've assigned our buyer to the signing at the bottom, and it should automatically do it for you if the document is set up for that. You can click on that signature. You can see up here it says assigned to Aaron Deal. So that shows that this signature is assigned to him. And if I were to share this document with him, he would be able to sign it electronically. So that's pretty simple. This is a document that's ready to go. Some documents are not necessarily ready to go. So the ABA is a generic document that's for buyers and sellers. So there is some work that you'll need to do on this one. So you'll need to type in. So whenever you see a box like this, you can click inside of it and you can type. So I'm going to type his name and I'm put today's date here. And then at the bottom, you can see, oh, this one is ready to go. It has his name ready for that. Now, let's just say it didn't say Aaron's sign here. We could click on the box for signature, go up to assign, and then select Aaron Deal. You can see how that changed to Aaron Deal. And then always use these arrows here instead of your back arrow up here, because that way, if you forget to save your document, it's going to give you a dialog box asking you if you want to save it. And we definitely do this time. Now, if you make changes that you don't want to save, the easy way to undo those changes is just to exit out and don't save it. It will ask you every time if you want to share the document. So sharing a document means sending it to somebody for a signature. When I'm working on a lot of documents like this for somebody to sign, I like to wait till I have them all done before I share, because every time you share a document, they're going to get an email. So we don't want things to get lost in the email. It's much easier for your client if you share everything at one time. They get one email, they can open that email and check through each thing and get everything signed and initialed. So some things are not ready to go. So let's take, for example, we're purchasing this home and there's residential property disclosure form that's been supplied by the agent. This would not be a template. It would be something that I either downloaded from the MLS to my computer or was emailed to me. If it was emailed to me, I could simply forward that email to the address on here. Or if I have saved it to my computer, I can simply browse for that document. So here I have some example ones on my desktop. I have a residential property disclosure form, and I also have a lead-based paint disclosure form. So these are just PDFs. They're not fillable. And you can only upload PDFs, so you cannot upload JPEGs or PNGs. So just make sure that you convert everything to a PDF before you upload it. So you can see that I have the residential disclosure here, property disclosure. It's just a PDF. I can't sign anything. It's just been scanned in. And it is loading. Sometimes these files are big that were scanned in. So I don't want to have to meet my client in person just to have this signed. I would like to send this over with the other documents so that my client can sign them on his computer or phone or tablet. So I need to create this to be with the ability to sign. So it's really simple. On the residential property disclosure form, we have on each page where the purchaser has to initial, and then on the last page, the purchaser has to sign. So all I'm going to do is go up here where it says add. I'm going to add initials. And it really is this simple. I click on that, click here, assign field to my buyer, and it's done. Now, say I'm looking at this and it's not the right size and I like to clean it up a little. I can simply click on it and move it around. And then I can even take this little corner here. You see, I have the single arrow. Once I have that, I can click and I can drag. And now I have the initial space ready to go. Now, I don't want to have to recreate this 4 times. I would like to copy this and paste it on each page. So on the right-hand side, you'll see some shortcuts depending on the kind of computer you have. So I'm going to use the shortcut to copy the field. And then I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to use the shortcut now to paste the field down here. And there it is. And I'm going to do that for each one. I'm just doing the shortcut for paste. And now here, looks like they got a little crazy with their signature. I'm going to add my buyer's signature here. So I'm going to click add signature. There it is, assign field. So this one's done. So I'm going to go back, save it, yes. Now the lead-based paint disclosure has some other interesting things on it that we have to mark up so that we can use this form without having to present it in person. So we do have initials that need to go here. We also have check boxes that need to be checked, and it's really simple to do that. So the same thing, add your initials, and then you can resize them, assign them to your client. You can copy, paste, so you don't have to resize it. Now we need to check these boxes. So right now they're not checkable because I haven't created a way for them to be checkable. If you go up to add checkbox, now I can place a checkable checkbox over top of it on each one. And then I can select the one that the buyer prefers. And then I'm also going to make sure I add my buyer's signature. It's a little big, we'll resize that. Assign to my buyer. And then always remember that your signature also goes on this document. So I'm going to add my signature. When I did that, I do have the option to sign this document now, which I do want to do. So I'm going to sign now. I'm going to adopt and sign. Now, let's say after I sign this, I find out from my buyer that they actually would like to waive the opportunity to do the risk assessment. And so I need to change this to here. So I'm going to change that right there. And sometimes if it's already signed, it will ask you to re-sign. Let's see if I can find where it will show you that. So for example, on the purchase agreement, you're going to be filling out this purchase agreement. You're going to have different prices. You're going to be changing prices. If you make any changes to a document after it has been signed, the signatures will be erased. So let me see if I can show you an example. Let's just put this here for me. So if I sign this now, and I save this, and then let's say we're going to change, we want to change the price. It's going to ask me if I really want to edit the form, because if I edit the form, it's going to erase all of the signatures and all of the initials. So you have to kind of make a decision there if you want to erase those signatures or if you want to upload a new version of it so that you can show the changes to the document. So you could upload a new version of the purchase agreement and do the strikeout method. So there is actually a strike through where you can actually strike out things and then write, and you can use the text box to type in something different. So if you wanted to type in the new price or something like that. Now, in this case, I can't put the strike through over here because this is a fillable field and it won't let you put the strike through over a fillable field. If you were to re-upload it as a PDF, you'd be able to do the strike through. You could put in the new amount. You could add initials for the buyer so that they could initial the changes, and that's all in your contracts class, and we'll talk more about that. So those are the basics of using Dotloop. All of the documents that you need are in Dotloop. When you're all done with your documents, you're ready to share them, I would suggest that you don't do it one at a time, that instead go back to this main page, select all of the documents that you want to share. Make sure you unselect any ones that you don't want to go there. And then once you have the documents that you want to share, you simply click share. And then you select the person that you want to share it with. If this is a purchase agreement that I'm sending to my buyer so they can sign it and have an official offer that I can submit, I'm going to give my buyer the ability to can sign, because there are places for him to sign on the document. If I only want them to view the documents and not do anything with them, like if I'm sending it to the lender or to the title company, I would select view only. If it is the listing agent, we're always going to give the other agent can edit in private access. That way they can add the signatures and be able to send it to their clients for signatures too, because hopefully they're going to accept the offer and sign the contract. So in this case, we're just sending it to the buyer to sign right there, and away it would go. I could type in a message here. I always recommend that you tell them to read it carefully signing, so that they understand that this is an important document. They need to understand what they're signing. You can even open it up on Zoom, maybe walk them through each document just to be on the safe side. And then also there is a can fill and sign option. Only use this if you want your client or whoever to be able to go through each individual section and fill it in. So that would be, for example, if you have a seller who needs to fill out the residential property disclosure form, you would give them fill and sign access. Don't do that in general, because it will be very confusing. So if I were to do fill and sign for my buyer and sent all those documents to him with the ability to fill and sign, it would stop at every little section and ask him to write something in there, and he would never get done with the document. So In general, just do the can sign for your clients, and then do fill and sign just separately, share it separately for documents that need to be filled out by your clients. And that's Dotloop in a nutshell. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thanks. Bye.